Hi you guys, so today I'm going to teach you the whys, and in the next video at the end of this, it'll pop up somewhere. You can do the hows to chill your shit out, to calm down, to come into those tranquil, peaceful, restful states that you've seen a meditator do, like you've seen the picture, the classic picture, eyes closed, like, oh, they must be so calm and peaceful, right? There's a way to get that, and there's a way to access that, and there's a reason we want to access that, because that kind of rest is the good kind of rest that resets the whole central nervous system, that is the key to getting out of fight or flight states and into parasympathetic rest and digest states constantly, so that you can live more of your life skillfully, more relaxed, like I'm talking like satiated, deeper kind of relaxed, anytime you want, whether you're in a boardroom meeting or you're driving in the car or you're sitting on a toilet or you're sitting on the meditation cushion. You can access deep states of restfulness that calm your nervous system. Really, this is self-care. That's self-care. We practice self-care kind of haphazardly. We're like, I'm going to set that massage appointment 2 weeks out, or I'm going to wait till the end of the day and take a bubble bath. And those things are good, and they supplement, and they're good to pepper in. Or we hit a wall and we're like, I just went out and had a 10-hour, 12-hour sleep night because I was running and rushing. So the way we connect to rest or self-care is either surface level or planned for another day or kind of haphazard. And it so doesn't have to be. It can be like access to any point skillfully, or when you get really skillful, it's just always there in the background. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. Every single contemplative practice of meditation and mindfulness realizes the valuable nature of this tool. This is a lubricant for deeper dive practice, for letting our shit come to the surface, for the purification process or the cleansing process or the deconstruction process, or whatever the hell you call your process. Like, you can stay up here at surface level with your meditative practice, and that's great. But at some point you probably may want to dive deeper and take your practice to more subtle levels and layers. And all of these practices recognize this is a tool to do that. Because when you start to practice rest and you start to really get restful in your deep meditation sits, because this seems counterintuitive, but it's because we push down. I don't want to feel that emotion. I don't have time for that. We do the exact opposite when we finally just sit down and come into these deep nervous system satiated, restful states. While we're awake, while we're aware, while we're conscious, then shit does rise to the surface. And also, when it does rise to the surface, we have this restful, skillful tool to use to like hold a space for it, so it doesn't just kick us in the ass, right? And so we can get curious about that emotion, let it be there, inquire about it, let it pass through. Like this is what we're learning to do in the deeper places of meditation and mindfulness. And also getting intimate with restful state conceptually and physically, literally, is a huge calibration tool. It shows us where we're at on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis. Because when you come in, you're looking at restful states. It's not like just, am I asleep and at rest? No, there are ranges of states that we play in, and oftentimes you'll find that we're playing mostly up here in the fight or flight, go, 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 busy, busy, rush, rush, rush state. And just recognizing where we're at on that spectrum, and knowing that even when you get skillful at this, even if you are go, 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 busy, 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 rush, 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 you can connect to this like underlying background, less sensory activity place, or more restful place, or present. This is the present moment. This is the magical present moment they're talking about, you guys. That's always, at underbelly of every moment. underbelly of every sensation, underbelly of every second of our lives that we can connect to. This is another reason the deep contemplative practices are like, okay, this is important because it gets us down here to just be in that constant background, witnessing presence, calm abiding, non-duality, whatever you call it. There's 1,000 different names for flow state, whatever you call it, place to be. So it's a really cool tool. And then also connecting to restful states and playing in this range and seeing this as a gauge or a guide teaches us sensory clarity. So we have a clearer look at picture of honest, authentic viewpoint of our sensory system that is constantly, ignored by us traditionally or not even paid attention to, that is also deeply rooted in all of these contemplative practices. Our sense doors are always open, they're always activated, we're always cognizing, we're falling down the rut of like, oh, this is what I did in this situation before when that came into my awareness field or attention, and we're off to the races. And it's about going, oh, what's going on in my internal body? What's going on in my sensorial field? So it's so beneficial on so many levels. The least of which may be the biggest thing for you right now, is like, how do I just learn to chill out a couple times a day? Like when I'm coming home from work and I'm going to walk in the door and I'm going to meet and greet my family, could I just take, a micro hit of 10 seconds to reset my nervous system, to leave my workday behind, to come in with conscious awareness and attention, to really see my family, to see my loved ones, to see this moment, to enjoy this time, enjoy this time, this connection time, this family time. This restful state is really cool at helping you juice and maximize the satisfaction of your relationships too. So there's so many things I could just keep going on and on. Okay, but I won't. So let's go to the next part. You may be asking, how the hell does this work? How do I do this? Well, there are a few different ways, and in the next video we'll actually play with them. You'll get to play with them and practice them. But first of all, you can learn how to skillfully, because all of these methods, we're doing them different than you've done them before. You're doing them with more skill and intention, concentration, clarity, equanimity. You can get to them through the entry point of the breath. Our breath is a huge tool to access the present moment in this relaxed place. You can get to them just by noticing the range that you're in, by noticing activity or inactivity and playing with that in the foreground, in the background, and playing with that. You can notice inactivity in terms of maybe there's no emotional turmoil or activity going on, or maybe there's no mental image in the screen if I'm eyes closed meditating, or if I'm eyes open, I have this soft gaze, and instead of darting out all over, I just relax into this soft gaze, and I find this range of soft, subtle rest. Or maybe you notice that there are actually little glimpses of spaces in between my thoughts of rest, or times when my thoughts kind of slow down. And also notice when my thoughts are go, 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 like playing in that range there. So there's a lot of really cool ranges to play in. I'll tell you, one of the most effective and best go-tos is the breath. And then I will also tell you that for most people that works. There is a small percentage of people, or even people who start out and the breath is their go-to, but then it gets a little clunky, where breath can be a triggering place, where, it's like the elephant in the room. I tell you to relax, focus on the breath, and then you're automatically like, oh, am I shallow breathing? Am I doing it? Oh, this doesn't feel comfortable. All this stuff can come up about the breath. And so this is another great way to learn and explore, learn to know thyself. That's what we're doing here on this in this journey, to work through any clunkiness of the breath or any things that come up with the breath. I sat with the breath when I did my first meditation set. You're sitting 3 days with the breath, 3 days, 10 hours a day, And even when you're not meditating those 10 hours a day, you're still focusing on the breath in the background, noble silence, you're not talking to anybody. It's like 24/7 for 3 days, just focusing on the breath, focusing on the nose, focusing on the breath. And all sorts of shit came up through that. It was like, oh my God, I'm not breathing. I stopped breathing. I'm breathing too much. My alignments, I can't breathe. My alignment's off. You learn to break through that. And then the breath, from the contemplative practices who really use the breath as a big anchor point, your breath is your oldest and dearest guide and teacher. It's been with you your entire life. It'll be with you in the next moment and the next moment. It's the ever present. It's autonomic, usually ignored, but when not ignored, can be used as an amazing tool. And so in the next video, I'm going to go over with you a little guided meditation and give you some samples of this. And you can pick and choose, use them a la carte. You can take one on and use it for a month or so, and then switch and you try out another one. Or if you are in a meditation set, a formal meditation set, you're like, this one isn't jiving with me, I've got like options to play with. That's the cool thing. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Have a restful day. Remember, anytime you can connect to rest, it's always at the end of the out breath, at the exhale. So if you just close your eyes and do it with me right now, take a breath, exhale. And let's do one more. Inhale, exhale through the mouth. And then this one, if you want to, close the mouth, exhale, and we're going to hold our attention at the end of the exhale for just a second or two in that space between. Have a great day.